Monday, November 14, 2022, you're live on My Media Prime Television. Huge thanks for joining us on Prime Flash today. We begin the news on a cultural note. The Fononso, His Royal Majesty Fonsem Mbinglo II, is in Germany for a visit as a process for the return of Ngonso statue, a symbolic artifact of the cultural heritage of the Nso people, Wu division of the northwest region of Cameroon, which was stolen by the Germans many decades ago. Fonsem Mbinglo was received with magnificence by the people of Nso, among others residing in Germany. Note that the paramount ruler of Nso and #1 custodian of the tradition, who has been on the throne for 29 years, only made his first encounter with Ngonso over the weekend. Elsewhere in the West region, movement was reportedly blocked in Bamenyam, Ngalim subdivision of Cameroon's West region on Sunday, November 13, following the disappearance of a 15-year-old girl who disappeared under unclear circumstances. This provoked the population to come out yesterday, blocking all roads leading into and out of the locality. The locals of Bamenyam are said to be blaming neighboring villages for the kidnap of the teenager. Ise Princess Miss Littoral has been crowned as Miss Cameroon 2023. This was during the weekend as she was crowned by the First Lady Chantal Biya during Saturday's November 12 Miss Cameroon competition, which took place in Yaoundé, Central region of Cameroon. She was followed by Mukete Mona Lisa, Miss Southwest, and Ngele Raisa, Miss Littoral or Miss West. Let's now take you to the southwest region of Cameroon, where our reporter Emmanuel C takes us through a beach cleanup campaign organized by Association for Community Awareness. Take a view.
This year, the Association of Community Awareness, ASCOA, has organized beach cleanups in the southwest region, especially the Limbe-Dinao coastline. The recent was organized at the weekend, November 12, 2022, at the end of a workshop to trained environmental journalists around the nation on addressing marine debris and plastic pollution through advocacy and education for sustainable ocean and coastline. An exercise that involves speaking, sorting and recording. Linus Ayangwo, CEO and founder of ASCOA, explains why it is done this way.
It's a little bit different. I can say in the southwest, ASCOA started this initiative for sorting of waste, documentation of the waste, so that we can provide this information to the government when it comes to policy making. And also we send this data to the international community so that they can know what is coming out from our beach. I think before we talk about the solution, we need to know what is on the ground. That is why we do sorting. We make sure that all the plastic lids, the plastic bottles, we count them, we document everything. So
a work that has brought together over 400 volunteers, including students. They are bent on saving the environment.
Because we have identified plastic as a major problem in our society. As you can see, our beach is now clean. As you can see, we have students and people enjoying the beach because it is clean. They are playing football matches. And the fishes in the oceans was well happy because we have picked out the little plastics which have caused a lot of havoc to them.
The journalists who witnessed these cleanup exercise were urged to go educate the public on their reports on the need to save the oceans and hence keep our beaches clean.
You're welcome to the Limbe beach site here in Down Beach. We are right here to save the ocean by ASCOA because together they save lives.
Thank you, Emmanuel C. Together, we need to save lives. Now, farmers in the West region, precisely in Melong, that's those of the coffee and cocoa sector in Melong Mongo division of Cameroon, have benefited from some farm inputs to help scale up production. The gesture is an initiative of the Copper Fellows Cooperative in Melong. Take a listen. It is thanks to Operation Producers Counter that more than 500 farmers in Melong, Mungo division of the Littoral region benefited from the donation of agricultural input geared at boosting their cocoa and coffee production. Worth mentioning is the fact that Mungo division was once the hub of cocoa and coffee production in the country, which had contributed enormously to the development of Cameroon. Thus, with the objective of raising this agricultural sector, whose yields are increasingly low, Operation Producers Counter came to the rescue at the esplanade of the Copperfellows Cooperative on Saturday, November 12, 2022 in Melong.
We have been looking for a means of helping the farmers. When we heard that the FORDEC project is to be launched in Melong, together we knew how Madam Senator, Madam Rebecca, is also working hard to see that the farmers they improve on their standard of living. So when we got it, we said no, this is the right time for farmers in Cameroon, especially in Melong in particular, to actually increase their coffee and their cocoa production, because when they increase it, Cameroon will be better than what it is now.
Note that these agricultural producers from 54 villages in Melong and the West region came to voice their needs for farm inputs like pesticides, among others. However, many shortcomings were observed throughout the distribution exercise, but the joy was quite immense.
Because quite a long time, coffee in the Mungo division signified nothing. Many farmers abandoned their farms in the bush because they couldn't survive with this coffee farming. As from now that the farmers are satisfied, they are going with a high and a good idea. I hope everything will go on very well, and the Mungo will take on this usual position in production of coffee.
Nonetheless, a warning note was given to some agricultural heads who are unjust to these cocoa and coffee producers in the division, while all fingers remain crossed for the next harvest season with high expectations of a satisfactory output in the Mungo. Now on to religious news. Christians of the Presbyterian Church of Cameroon, PCC, have celebrated their 65th anniversary under the theme Be on Your Guard. In Douala, Staff Lady Dolingonde Soe witnessed the celebration at the Presbyterian Church Bonaberi, also known as Mother of the Church in this part of the country, and now recounts.
Be on your guard. This is the theme for the 65th anniversary of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, as Christians on this day have converged at their respective congregations nationwide and abroad to give this event the grandeur it deserves. Here at PC Bonaberi Douala, the church's anthem is sung in honor of all fallen martyrs of faith, including the early missionaries who laid the foundation of the church. At 65, representatives of the Basel mission from Germany, from where the PCC was born, are here to celebrate with the church while considering worship system stars.
Today I visited the Sunday school here in Douala, in Bonaberi, and I was very impressed about 1,500 children who sing together, and that was so amazing.
Meanwhile, Reverend Mary Wose, as parish pastor of PC Bonaberi, has urged the faithfuls on this day to be practical evangelists, which she has termed the main mission of the church.
In 1957, the church became an independent body from the missionaries, the Basel mission in particular. And so, celebrating this day is also recounting our success stories. We should all go out and preach the word of God. And while preaching the word of God, we should be on our guard. Because there are many people who will want to impose other teachings on us. And we need to be aware. Like Christians of the Presbyterian Church in 65 years, there must be those Christians who are well grounded in the gospel.
However, at 65, many have asked what is the PCC priding itself for after her independence from the Basel Mission. Dr. George Assam is the congregational chairperson of PC Bunaberi, who has answers to these questions.
To the level of even post-secondary education, we are going into creating a Christian university, and we are going into referral hospitals. We have a specialist. In fact, this is made it known, should be known to the whole public. The Presbyterian Church has the best eye department in Central Africa. I'm speaking as a health professional myself.
Yes, it is 65, but many who witnessed the planting of the early church as Nsungkikang Alain, a barrister at law and a Christian at PC Bunaberi Douala, 65, he says, is a time for retrospection.
This is the moment at 65 to ask yourself what you have done to God's glory and honor. What you have done to put smiles on people's faces. What you have done to turn things around in a turbulent world.
Characterized with a melange of activities including singing, dancing, parading by the young Presbyterians, others like Ivo Ikome have also been recognized for their outstanding performances in the church.
I should say all glory to God. All glory to God. I was not expecting actually. It is always good to serve God in truth, in faith. So when we do this, it is all in honor of God. I am happy it's true, but I dedicated most especially to God ultimately. And I think we are all happy to do it today.
A day full of joy and happiness has also ended in wining and dining, all to the glory of God, as the PCC keeps moving on despite all odds.
Now, in more religious news, some bike riders in Bamenda on a pilgrimage to the Holy Shrine in Abango Quarter, having a Thanksgiving ceremony, appeal to their fellow colleagues to be conscious of their job and treat everyone they come across with love. Charles Kibwa followed them and now reports.
The pilgrimage to the Holy Shrine at Abango Quarters, Bamenda, November 12, 2022, by bike riders in Mezam Division of the Northwest Region, coordinated by Reverend Father Ignatius, parish priest of Regional Patriarch Ndamukong. The bike riders thank the Archbishop of Bamenda for always being by them as they pray for peace to return to the Northwest and Southwest regions of the country. Said they are bent to follow the rules of religion.
People will like God. We have been tagged so many kinds of names in respect. They treat us badly. They make people look us as if this like unemployed people, like bad people. So we want to prove them that no, we are God-loving people, and we follow the rules and regulations of religion.
Using the day of prayer and recollection, the Okada riders in Mezam used Samba group they belong in thanksgiving. Worship God Almighty, appeal to those still lacking behind to be conscious of the Creator as they do their work daily, and to treat all with peace, love, and follow humanity principles.
I plead to all the bike riders that they should all give their lives to God, that they should all go to church, that they should all follow humanistic principles, because church is for peace. If we want this crisis to return into normalcy, we must go to church.
The pilgrimage worship by the Okada riders in Mezam was also another way of increasing the faith and spiritual life of the bike riders.
Now in news out of Cameroon, a bus reportedly fell into a canal in Egypt's Nile River Delta region Saturday, November 12, killing at least 21 people. The country's health ministry revealed. One of the ministry's officials added that 3 children were among the dead. River rescue forces, police and ambulances from the Dakalia province were dispatched to the site of the accident. The injured passengers were taken to a local hospital. The Public Prosecution Office, which is investigating the incident, accused the minibus driver of making a phone call when driving. He was arrested, and preliminary tests allegedly revealed that he was under the influence of drugs, according to a judiciary source. Now, thousands of Sudanese Islamists gathered on Saturday for the second time in 2 weeks to call out what they see as interference in the country's affairs. They are opposed to the United Nations efforts to mediate between Sudan's military junta and the civilian leaders following last year's coup staged by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. A protester called Mohammed warned that any compromise will bring Sudan into a real crisis, and that Sudanese youths do not want these parties and their agreements. Worrying sides in the Ethiopian conflicts on Saturday, November 12, 2022, agreed on peace roadmap. The Chief of Staff of the Ethiopian Army Forces and head of the Tigray Forces signed an agreement in Nairobi, Kenya, in relation to the set calls for disengagement from all forms of military. Both parties assented to protect civilians and facilitate the delivery of humanitarian aid in the war-torn northern region of Tigray. Note that the African Union-led talks in Nairobi followed the cessation of hostilities agreement signed by Ethiopia and Tigray leaders in South Africa last week. And that concludes today's edition of Prime Flash. I have been Eileen for presentation. Thanking you all for viewing. The news was produced by Modika, Elvis. Stay tuned to more amazing programs coming out today on My Media Prime TV. Details of some of the stories will be yours at 6:30 during Prime News with Fon Quinta. Up next is a brief Elisha Kingsley and Bomotongina Gladys. Have a blessed Monday. Bye for now.
The biggest Christian gathering in Douala, Cameroon is here again. The Living Word of Prophecy Tabernacle, aka Defense City, presents Feast of Tabernacle 2022.